I will be shortly. Might be on there now. Yeah, that thing's coming in the background. Turn that down. Okay. What is it hearing now? So I can see it moving, but weird. Alright. Maybe it's this fan. I guess it was. Alright, cool. Well then, we're streaming, I believe. Let me double check on my phone. Should be streaming. And, yeah. Cool. 26, 13. Okay. Alright, so in that case, let's go ahead and just get started on this. Alright, so now it's live. Everybody can see me and hear me. Although I can't see this over here. Let me move this out of the way. Okay. Alright. So, there we go. Okay, I just wanted to get this on camera, not so much on stream, but on camera, but it's on stream now. So, wrap this up real quick. So this is just part of something I was doing off camera, off stream, yesterday, and I didn't have my electrical tape, so I didn't do it then, but we'll do it now, just to get it out of the way and cleaned up. I do have someone operating camera today, so hopefully when I go through and try to go through my videos, I have some better angles of things. But we'll see what happens, because I know I move around quite a bit, and it's hard to get a shot set up sometimes. So all I'm doing here is just putting electrical tape around my little job I've done here, and I'll get the this will all be on a video later. But basically, it's a video where I'm just converting the rewiring the 2-pin, 2-conductor tool sensor to a 4-pin down to 2 automatic tool sensor. So tool length sensor, because the other one is manual. It has a probe. This is automatic. It has gas, so it doesn't need the additional probe, which makes things a lot easier. A lot better for software anyways, for automation purposes. Let's wrap this around. And so this will just keep everything a little tidier, which is what I want. So, okay, cool. That's all I want. I just wanted some footage of that getting wrapped up. So hopefully I got it. Okay. Now we're gonna go back over there. I don't know if you see me in there or not. I'm guessing you probably could. All right, cool. So I'll get this out of the way. Today we're doing unboxing. So I'm gonna unbox the XE Pro. I'm sure nobody's there, but I'll avoid saying anything that I shouldn't say. So these big boxes here, get all this stuff out the way. We've already seen this get unboxed. We've seen that stuff get unboxed. We've seen that already. You haven't seen it, but it's in a video somewhere. Let's not get the secret plans on camera down there. So, and then all right. So let me get all this stuff out of the way. Move it over. So this is another stream we'll do at a different time. And that's a 2 trees laser engraver. It has a third axis, which is kind of unique from laser engravers, but might be useful for some of the things I'll be doing here. So there's 2 boxes. Can you see, am I centered or where am I located? Like in the middle? So, so we got 2 boxes. One is like an extension for the XE Pro, which is going to bring it out to 800 millimeters, I think, from 400. And then get this stuff out of the way. Ooh. Had to do some. Usually these things are over here, but I had to do some electrical the other day. Required all that to move. Let me cut this box open. So we'll take this one out first, since it is the bigger box. Wow, it's heavier, significantly heavier than the other one. All right, let's see. Oh my gosh. This is so much heavier than the other box. Okay. Something tells me the 800 extended piece box is not gonna be any lighter. Because this one has like really, really heavy ball screws in it. Heavy, long. All right. Okay. Somewhere I got a razor. All right, cool. Everybody see that on the overhead, I hope. What I want to do is rotate it. So let me get this stuff off of here. Just put it somewhere else for now. Gotta put it underneath for now. I gotta come through and move all this stuff where it goes. A couple days of projects. I think some of this is from the last unboxing as well. So I'll save the Allen wrenches and things. Put them somewhere useful. Okay. All right. Okay. Alrighty. Okay. All right. Cool. Now, hide all this stuff. Got to cut myself with that razor there. And get this out of the way. Cool. All right. So we got some Allen wrenches. All right. Let's get this rotated so you can see it in the unboxing camera. Yeah. Wow. Huge. Cool. Okay. So center of the box, roughly center on screen. Cool. Okay. And now for the XE Pro 8040 unboxing. All right. Whoosh. Take this out. So I just decided not to do daily lives just because I need to get that work done. I don't have time to wait until I do a live. So some of the parts are missing, and then I'll try and add them back separately as their own videos, but I can't promise anything. All right. It's a box in a box. So let's get rid of this other box. Box in a box. All right. Cool. Now we should be able to get into the other box easier. Let's hide this somewhere. Okay. Just open this up. Be a little careful. I don't think anything's going to be right next to the edges of this. Open it up. So if it's anything like the previous unboxing assembly, I imagine it's going to be worse. This is probably going to take a couple hours. So you might be here for a minute. But this is the 400 by 400 base. We're not going to need it, so that's just going to be put aside. It's trash. We're going to replace that with the basically everything that's 400 or width is 400 millimeters is going to be swapped out for the 800 millimeter. And I believe that includes these as well. So these are just like the feet, and that they'll hold the board there. on this camera, you know. All right. Boop, boop, boop. So we got the feet, trying to get the shots of things, but all right, let's see. Let's leave it open so I get a full shot of it, and then go through one at a time. Wow, some of this looks like it's not as easy to pull out. Okay, that is, oh my god. Okay, this is like the control box. Okay, cool, interesting. So this one sits a little bit at a different orientation, which is unique compared to like the XE Masuda 3S, which lays flat. This is like portrait mode. We'll put this over here for now, out of the way. I'm gonna move this because I know that's gonna get in the way at some point. All right. So here we got the cable chain, and this thing is gonna need to be extended. So we'll get that somewhere. Probably just lay it right here for now. That's gonna need to be extended. Once we pull out the other set, the extension set. It's like a kit that comes in a separate box you order separately, and it lets you extend these things by an additional 400 millimeters. So we got wrenches, and actually better quality wrenches, and some drill bits, it looks like. So we got some of the spindle bits. We got the set we get with the Masuda, and then we have an additional set that we haven't gotten with the Masuda. I'm not sure what these are. It looks like some up spiral and down spiral bits. Some of them are ball shaped, some are not. So it looks like this does come with the same kind of manual 2-pin probe based tool length sensor, and then we have some tie downs and some wrenches and some Allen wrenches. So that's cool. I like that this thing comes with everything you need to build it. It's pretty useful. So we'll put that aside over here for now. Okay. Trying to mix anything up. I'm sure we'll have some extra parts. So this is the USB to connect it to your PC. And then this was a brush just to help clean out any dust as it's cutting. Help you see what you're working with. Here's all the screws we're going to need. And then just like the Masuda, it comes with essentially the same parts. Maybe just a little bit more here and there. But it looks like we got the multiple sizes for the braces that will hold the spindle. In our case, hold the router. So we won't be using this spindle here. Now we got 2 spindles that we're not going to be using, so I'll find something to do with them. And then we got some additional leg pieces, and then the piece that guards. Well, we got the chain belt. Okay. Yeah, I'll make sure I get footage of all this. So we got 3 different sizes here. Or actually, it looks like these 2 are the same. Interesting. So I wonder why it came with 2 of those, but these are going to hold the spindles and routers. We'll put those aside for now. And we got some more feet, and we got the so this piece is just like is the cable chain, like a platform that just holds the cable chain as it rides along the x-axis. And then we just have some more feet, and we have I'm guessing that's like in the center to keep it strong in the center, but we're probably gonna reuse that. And then we'll need somewhere we're gonna need to reuse these feet we took out. I'm not sure on which axis they are for yet. So this is basically just a guard to keep everything off of the track. In this case, the timing belt on the Masuda 3S, but in this case, with the XE Pro, it should be the presumably it's going to be the ball bearing, the ball axis. What's it called? Can't think of it right now. The linear ball rail. We'll call it that. Okay, so yeah, right. Yeah, this is way different than the Masuda 3S because everything's using ball screws. linear ball screw, I think is what it's called. So here's our X. Okay, no, this is I'm not sure. Not sure what that is. Let's look at this one. Okay, so these two are very similar, but then these are even more similar to the first one. So that to me means that these are the X, or the Y. These are going to be the Y. Oh, it actually says on the motor. These are the Y motors, and then the X-axis will need to be extended. So I'm not going to be using this one here behind me. This one will get replaced with the extended axes, but yeah, this will be replaced. So we can put this aside for now. I'm not sure if all of it will be replaced or just some of it, but we'll know shortly. But here we go, Y1, Y2. So our Y-axis will go here. Those will not be replaced in any way. And then, yeah, so here's our headpiece that would go on the X-axis with our Z-axis. So just like on the Masuda 3S, looks pretty much exactly the same. Okay, so now we got through that box. I think, okay, that's the whole box. So that's everything in there that we care about. Throw this aside. All right. Now, somehow I got to get this other one over here onto the unboxing table. So how am I going to do that? I don't know. Let's see. All right. Yeah. Okay, that's not too bad. All right. Going on top of here. Hopefully this can take the weight. Because this table has broken before. Too much weight on it. So I had to get the wheels, which I have on the legs, had to get them welded, or welded for the first time ever anyways, so that I wouldn't have any issues anymore in the future with weight. But it looks like my bits and bits, for whatever reason, came included with this FoxAlien. Hey, I must have done that myself. Bits and bits are bit providers. They got a lot of nice bits, so we're gonna have to go through at some point. So these are all the screws basically used for the extended spoil board. So that'll help us screw in everything we want there. Did I get a good clear shot there? Or am I got my hands all over it? All right. Okay. Apparently some cat fur in here as well. So it did give us some new guards, which is kind of interesting because they look smaller. And then we've got the new legs for the X axis. So here we go. These we'll put here. And then we got, yes. So it gave us an entirely new X-axis, and this thing is much bigger. And I guess it makes sense. They would have to, because I mean, it's got the ball screw, linear ball screw in here. So there's no way to just extend that, you know, with a coupler or anything. So this is what that looks like. Pretty heavy, but the head will go on here. And then, as you can see, it kind of just rides down this linear rail. And it has a ball screw, which helps tremendously with cutting through aluminum, especially, but wood. It'll be cutting through like butter. So put that over here too, just to get a nice shot of it. Whoop-de-doo. All right. So, whoa. Okay. This table is hardly big enough. And then it comes with another one of these, yeah. So this is basically just an additional brace to like keep everything secure and sturdy along the 800 millimeters of span spoil board. So we will need to use both of them in this case. So the one we put aside earlier, plus that one. Did I put it up here? I might have put it up here. I did. It's underneath everything. Okay, so yeah. So then we just got the longer platform. This is what the belt chain will hang on and sit on, and then it gives us. Wow. Okay. Wow. They made this one even easier. So instead of me having to manually extend this, they just gave me a longer one. That's actually pretty cool. I was not expecting that. So, all right, interesting. I'm surprised. I'm surprised with that. So what that means though is I still have to go through, because I am adding a router, so I do still have to go through. We'll get rid of this one now, but that one's now underneath some things. So we'll come back to that. All that we have in here is going to be, of course, the user manual for instructions on how to assemble this, and then we are going to be using that, but we'll also want to use the previous manual as well, because it's going to get us through some of the steps. And then here's all of the individual spoil board. Let's call them planks. So these will just go along the x-axis all the way down the new 800 millimeters of length, which is a lot nicer than the 400 one comes with by default. Just a boring back piece. That was crazy. That there. Okay. More here. And then they just got this one all by itself there. So, okay. So I think that's everything in this box. So that should allow me to finally get this out of the way. All right. That little smudge I had has become way more of a smudge. I'll have to clean that up after the stream here. All right, time to make some space. So get these over here. We can get a clear area to work on. And I think what I had to do previously was do this diagonally, so I'm probably going to do that here. So let me get these over here, actually. Or even better, I'll just put them over here as well, out of the way. I don't want this to fall, so put that up somewhere for now. Put that there. And then I think these will be okay right there, hopefully. So in order to do this, I'm going to need to put one of these y-axis C's. That way, another one will be on the other side. So that's y2. This is y1, and then we're going to want to span that whole length with the leg pieces. So we'll get those ready. So one of these. Presumably this is the back one, does it say? So on the Masuda 3S it does say whether or not it's the back one or not, but it looks like it's not. I'm going to go with not. But easily enough. Get all this stuff out of the way. Somehow this seems a little bit shorter than 800 millimeters. Maybe it's just in my head. Get this big old thing out of the way. So we got that. This will go behind there basically. This will go onto here. So right now we just need this to go here, across, and then we'll need to make sure it's at a good enough angle that I can sit it across without it being a problem. Alright, and I don't want this to fall or anything. Well, fortunately it doesn't have a motor on it, but I'm just going to put it aside We'll come back to it after when we need it. But for now, we're just going to focus on getting the y-axis and the base put down. So I'm going to do that. Something like this. Okay, so now what we want to do is, I'm pretty sure I have these backwards. Yeah, pretty sure these are backwards. So Y1 would be on this side, and then this one would be on this side. And I'm just looking at the bore holes basically and seeing what, because obviously there's an x-axis going across, and then there's somewhere to screw in. Wait a minute. So I do see Y1 motor. This gives us somewhere to, does it give us somewhere to screw in? Alright, let's find the manual. That'll tell me which way that goes. So that's the XC Pro manual. I think we want to look at the extended manual. Maybe it'll just have all the steps in it. I'm not sure. The Masuder doesn't do it that way, unfortunately. Let's see what steps it gives us. Alright, so we got the x-axis, the gantry. Okay, and it's going to go on IC. So apparently the x-axis is going to go sit on top right there, but on the outside. So actually I think I had it correct, it seems, the first time. Because yeah, it looks like it's going to sit on top on the outside. Okay, so let's just start from scratch. This is telling us disassemble original parts. Well, we haven't even assembled the parts yet, so disassemble original parts. Okay, so here we disassembled everything. So now we're going to assemble the new thing. We gotta get this on the overhead, which I think I was trying to do last time. So, interesting. So there's these longer feet here, and then there's going to be the middle pieces that go across here. But it also looks as though, and that's maybe what these are for. Yeah, so okay, so these are actually the pieces that will span. So this must be shorter, and indeed it is. So that's all. So this is just being replaced with that. These come in the original set, and so they are relevant. So these little feet here, and what these do is they keep the center strong in case there's something heavy on top of the spoil board. There's enough distribution so that nothing's sagging. And so what we're going to do is cut this with the razor as soon as I find it. What in the earth did I do with the razor? As soon as I find that razor. There it is. Okay. Go ahead and cut this. Sorry if you hear some metal rattling this. The metal door I don't have any padding or anything there to stop that. And it is going to be a windy day, so it may get worse, but hopefully it's not bad. Too bad. Okay, so we'll make sure that this is going as far across as it can. And then that goes on there. This will go on here. Make sure it's the right way around. Okay. So into those holes, and then all the way across into that hole. These will screw together. It looks like it's going to use, let's see what it says. It's going to use the only thing it has is M5 times 30. We're going to need 12 of those. And then we're going to need 12 of the spring washer. And we're going to need 12 of the 12-1 washer. So the spring washer is going to go, looks like after the other washer, and that should help lock the screw in. So we'll locate those parts here. So we should have all of these parts here. So again, we want the M5, we want 30 of those M5s. So just looking at this, we don't even have any of the 30s, or we don't have any of the 30 length. We certainly don't have, what is it, 12 of them? So what am I missing? 12, 55 millimeter, 16. Okay, we do have 30 and we do have 12 of them. Okay, there we go. So that must be them there. And then at the same time, it wants us to use the washers and the locking washers. So we got the spring washer, we got 12 of those, and then we got the regular washer, and we got, is that 12, 1, yep. We got 12 of those. So let's gotta get all these out. Yeah, looks like they've all gotten pushed around. They're not in the same place anymore. So it's a little bit tedious. So they don't securely pack in their individual cells. So we got 12 of these, hopefully. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Can this even see me? Right there. I doubt it. Maybe you can. So I just wanted to count 12 of these. Looks like there are 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yep. 3 sets of 4. Move this to the side. Now we just need 12 of these washers, and we're going to need 12 of the spring washers. So I think at this point it might even just be easier just to, without getting them too mixed up, take all these out. There's another washer there. Okay. Keep you over there. Okay. Other washers, 2 of them in here. Put that there. Put this one here. It's really inside here. There are a couple of them. So these ones. Okay, the spring and a regular washer in there, so that's great. So we want the regular, we want the spring, we want the other regular here, the other ones, that's all of them. So these can all go back together. To here. Washer and spring washer free. We'll do the same thing to this pile, which I'm really starting to think some of those are mixed in. Okay, make sure there's nothing in here. There are a few. Get those out. Okay, cool. So pull these on out of here. These dang fat fingers of mine. Alright, and then move on to the next one. Just do this until we got all the washers out, because they're just mixed in now with everything else at this point. So we're going to need 12 of them. I'll do a tally after, make sure we got everything. Okay, try and get better into view here. Okay, come on. Okay, this is a good time to have nails, so if you're watching this several months in advance, maybe grow out some nails, just in case. Get these out of the way, come on. There ain't enough room in this little cell for my finger and you. Okay, get these all out of here, come on. I feel like the whole stream's just going to be me reorganizing this container at this point. Come on, get out of the way. Give me a little more room to work in. Okay. Alright, so we got that out of the way. Pull these out. Come on. Of course, I'm sweating like crazy again, and my hands are all black from the silicone I was doing earlier. So that's no fun. Okay, let's put this wall back up. Move on to the next one. We will prevail. So many of these washers to pull out of every single one of these little cells. And then just hoping at the end I didn't lose any. Okay, I think that's all of them. So hopefully we have all of those and then all of the everything we need, hopefully. Put that there. Okay, am I missing any? Looks like they're all out of there. Okay. Now, so let's count them. So we should have 12 of these bigger ones. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and I see 1, 2, 3, 4 here, so that's good. And then there's like an extra one, it looks like, and then we should have same thing, 4, 4, and then so we should have 4, and there we go. There's 12 of those. Okay, so we got enough. So let's start then. So we want to do the locking one first, and then we want to put one of these other washers underneath that. And so this spring one will help keep this thing locked in. It won't move whenever there's vibrations. I'll go ahead and I think I have to do this to all of them, so I might as well just get them all set up. So get those screws. Let me move all of this over here a little more under the camera. And then just get these all set up. And then we'll screw them all in. So there we go. Okay, I wish this table didn't have these edges, but at the same time, I'm glad they do. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. I meant to turn my phone down before this, but here we are. So hopefully that's all of the disruptions there. 1, 2, 3, 1. All right, almost there. We're almost halfway. I think we are halfway now. So wrap these up. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. That goes on second. Put this on. Put this on. There we go. So now we got 2 sets of 4. There we are. 2 sets of 4. We'll do 1 more set of 4, and then we'll be good to go. So here we are. 1, 2. 1, 3. 4. Someday we might do like a speed run challenge to see how fast I can do this. Get more experience putting these things together. So there does seem to come with 1 extra washer, 1 extra spring washer, so that's pretty cool. Alright, cool. So we got the 12 that we need, 4A12, and we'll just start screwing these in to where they go. So get the correct Allen wrench. I'm pretty sure it's this bigger one, but I haven't actually checked. So let's see what happens here. Boop, that's right. Bob's Yonkel, I guess is from that one saying. I don't know where it's from, but Bob's Yonkel. And then screw these in. And it should be, hopefully it shouldn't just be that easy. We screw these in, and then everything else is cake. Thank you, camera person. Trying to get the best shots you can. That's going to be extremely helpful. Come editing time, get some actual good content. So camera person is anonymous, but I'm just not in here talking to myself anymore. Now I'm talking to myself and someone's listening to me talk to myself. So it's a little bit different. Come on, get in there. Yeah, it does not seem to be getting into anything and screwing at all. A little extra force maybe. I can't tell. It doesn't look like it. So that one's not going in. Why is that? It's probably rotated a little bit or something. See if I can maybe see it with my eyes in there. So yeah, it would help. It seems like it helps to wiggle it a little bit until it snaps in, slides in, and then you just tighten these down. That'll keep the spring washer will kind of like close in, and then be from that point forward it'll be pushing outward like a spring, ensuring that there's enough stress, enough tension that even if this thing wants to vibrate and rotate, it won't be able to. Okay, put that on, get the next one on, then we'll go around to the back and do the same thing. And then, so this will be 4 here, the back is 4, and then the middle is holding on to the middle bar. There'll be 4 there. So, so let's do the other side now. This one I'm not going to be able to get on camera at all, really, just because it's in the back, but you've already seen it from the front. Maybe I could use my Android camera and get something over here, but otherwise, there's no real way to do this. So it's fine, not a problem. We only need the footage from the front. Come on, get in there. So this is tough because the bar is like sort of not wanting to align, but looks like I got it. What I could do is I could move the overhead. I'm not sure how much that'll help, but it kind of helps. So there we go, overhead. Coming in clutch. Get the next one. So hard to see. Okay, come on, is that in? Doesn't seem to be in. Okay, tighten it up. I mean, I know how to screw, but from some angles, it's like I don't know how to use my hands. Some kind of like amorphic, like dyslexia. Okay. Screw this one on. Go on, get in there. I mean, there's nowhere for me to even wiggle it at this point. It's just not going in. Let me try lifting these out of the way. Get these out of the way, and then I'll lift it up and see if I can't see why it's not screwing in there. Now we can also kind of see it on the other camera, so there you go. Okay. So why are you not going in? No, it's going in. Of course, I'm sweating all over this thing. Sweating all over it. Okay, there we go. There we go. Sure, these are sufficiently tight. Next, it's going straight in. Give me no problems at all. Nice. Okay, and it did too. Interesting, eh? Okay, so boop, boop, boop. All right, so we're getting this in, and we're done. Cool. So that's screwed. All that feels pretty secure. Now what we want to do is take this middle bar, put it here, and then we're going to do the same thing. Tighten these on in there. So we'll take the last 4 we got, and we'll do that now. So put it in kind of at an angle. Yeah. So it'll stay, and then we can get it in. Okay. So we want roughly right there. There we go. Heard it snap. I can't get this one. It's probably on the overhead, maybe. Kind of. Go. Screw this in. Okay. Bottom. Put that in. Yeah, screw it in. Cool beans. No fighting at all. Just went straight in. That's the way I like it. Alright. Move on to the next one. So how's that showing on the overhead? It's too high up. There we go. Let's try to get it in there. Alright, cool. Proceeded to cover with my fingers. So, there you go. Alright. Okay, I mean, that seems like it's good enough. We'll move on to the next step. Boop, 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 boop. Alright, so we got that done. And now what we want to do is put the Y axis of these on. So we're going to need the M5 20 millimeter long. Which one are those? M5 20 meter long. We're going to need 16 of these suckers. 4, 8, 12, 16. I guess that makes sense. So, okay. All right. Cool. So these will go on. All of these will just, I mean, I'm surprised it's not using like the nicer, yeah, M520. Yeah, I mean, even in the picture, it shows instead of the, whatever. Okay, I mean, I guess it is that way. The previous version of this thing had, okay, so I see. So this would be on that side. Okay, so the previous, the Masuder 3S, I should say, not the previous version, but a different model. It has the nice, like, beveled heads or whatever, so they're a lot cleaner, and it's like flush, just looks better. This is also flush, but instead of a bezel, it's just a straight hole bored in the outer diameter, the size of the head on this hex nut at the end. So this looks like it goes, kind of wraps around like a candy cane, but candy cane stripes, and I'm just not going to deal with that. We're just going to pull it off, cut it off. Okay. There. Do the same thing to this other one, and as I can see in the pictures, the shape of this little hump here is inward to the device. So like this one will go here, and that one will go on the other side. So that kind of indicates the direction. Let's cut this all off. Okay. Get all this off. Cool beans. Okay. Alright, so I'll move this one over here because I need to keep the motors on this side of the away from the wall, just because that will make it a lot more complicated. So then this can go here. Yeah, this will go here, and then just hope nothing happens while I go and grab this. So we're gonna need 4 pieces. I'll slide in. I'll pick this up. That'll go in the hole, hopefully. That's how it's supposed to work anyways. So tighten that in. Looks like it's going good. Okay. And it'll keep screwing in nice and flush. Pretty cool. That's some thick metal. I didn't realize, I think when I ordered this, how thick the metal is. Oh, it is definitely thicker than the Masuder. This thing is definitely more heavy duty for sure. And I kind of wonder now the size is thicker, or if they just cut the effective cutting area smaller. Sort of a border box or border box sizing or not. That camera person, that sounded awful. Sounded like somebody's passing gas, but it looks like that was not the case. And they're trying hard not to laugh. I thought for sure they were over there ripping one, but it was just the tubing on the camera. So nobody post in the comments if you think that was a farter. That was just some tubing from the camera. Because it's definitely not like a leather couch type scenario. So let's go. Do. Alright, get that on there. Do the other side. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's going to be hard to get that side. There we go. I think this is roughly the angle I had it before doing the Masuder. So I'm trying to keep it around here so the 2 feet are on. But I can also get to the back. All right, we are screwing these in, screwing in. I don't know what this looks like on the overhead. I wonder if I should aim it first. I probably should have aimed it down some. Okay, tighten it up. I think what I'm gonna have to do is just try to get 2 of them in there, and then I'll tighten it up, and then I'll go around and get the other ones after. But for now, it's just not enough room to get the other 2 on the other side, unfortunately. But once it's all tightened up enough, I can rotate it, put it down there without worrying about anything. Come on. Come on, come on. Almost there. Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah, we've almost got all of the machines now set up. This is like the last one. I actually haven't put together this one at all ever, so I don't know what it's going to be like. I do hear stuff going on in the background. I hope it's not coming through on the stream. Let's get this going. Okay. Get this one on. Okay, cool. That one's going in. Thank you, camera person. Alright, so we'll get these 4 with the next 4. And then I think we'll start the breadboard, I'm guessing, after this. The spoil board, rather. And then, come on. Okay. Next one down. I do think it looks a lot nicer with the bezeled head on the Masuda 3S than it does with this straight head just bored in. I mean, at least it's nice and flush, but it's probably easier, obviously, I'm sure, maybe to manufacture. Maybe not, actually, but there it is. I wonder if it's stronger. I've not actually looked into that much, but I'm curious now. So let's get this on. Come on. Come on. 2 more. Does help to have a nice flat surface to work on, so let that be a pro tip. That's true for anything you're working on. This is no good. All right, next one. Oh, okay, well, I already got those, so move on to the other side. There we go. Trying to be more aware of the cameras and where they're looking. It's a lot easier when I only have to think about one of them. Let's get that one in. Okay. Yeah. Once we get to the spoil board here, I'll switch it back. We'll probably keep it on the overhead. I'm not sure what view's best for the live stream here, but I'm really thinking the overhead's the champion, just because it's closer and it sees everything up front. I'd have to move the other one to a really radical angle. I think it's just easier. Like we have it. Yeah, the configuration on this one definitely takes up more space. So that's something I got to think about. As I'm storing these, I just have to pull my shelves back some, I believe, but definitely does take up more than its fair share. So we got one more here. I'm a little confused because I only got one more screw. I got one here, and one of them must have rolled somewhere. I have to look for it. So I'm currently missing a screw, which I know I started out with the right amount. I think I did. I didn't actually count them. Did I count them? I don't know. Hopefully I didn't. And yeah, so I need 2 more. Triple check. It's not over here. Yeah, there it is. All right. Ow. Okay. It's always fun to get an accident on camera. Luckily, nothing too bad there. Okay. Try and give myself some room to actually get back there and screw that one in. Without letting this thing fall off and damage those motors. Try and screw this. So I am noticing as well, you can't see it on here, it comes with these cool like knobs to manually adjust the screw. So that's pretty cool. That'll help a lot. You want to make sure these are adjusted to a nice zero homing position on both sides before you get started. Otherwise, you can end up with some kinking and just bending, basically. You don't want that. So manual adjustment will be great for that. It's not really a big deal because I'm pretty sure you just spin the actual ball screw itself, but then you just end up adding grease and stuff in your fingers, and that's just going to over time increase the amount of tarnish. So not ideal. Okay, so everything so far nice and tight. We're gonna move it right around here-ish. Let's get that out of the way. And now with it right around here-ish, we'll put the spoil board on. I believe is going to be the next step thereabout. We'll find out here. Oh wait, yeah. So it says right there, the spoil board is the next step. So as we see, we're gonna need a bunch, 40 of the M516. We're gonna be screwing all those in, and then that's going to include the dust baffle, is I guess what we're calling that. And that's on both ends. Interesting. So, okay, so they just got a very strange sort of angle there, but the dust baffle on both sides, and so it did give me like 2 more, which is a little strange. So let's see. So this one, these are the same size. This one, these are the same size, but these are the same size. Huh. So okay, so one of them definitely seems smaller, so I'm gonna go with this one. Wider, and that should go here. This will go here, and then that should screw into that slot there. Okay, and then same on the other side, and then the spoil board go in between. So these are the M5X16. There's 36 of these. M5X16. There's 36. And it says we're going to need 40, so there must be more inside here. M5, 16, 36, and it's 4 pieces here exactly, so that's it then. So we want 1, 2, 36 plus 4 is 40, and that's what we need. So there we go, okay. So we're going to take these, and we're going to bring them over here, and we'll just keep them here. And then we'll open it up actually. Open it up even, and then make sure we got the right head for this. I think this will fit. It's kind of long though. That's all right. Okay, and then all of these will go in. So I think what I'll do. Screw in the sides first. The dust baffles, I guess we're calling them. So screw these in. We don't want to tighten them all the way because they are going to, looks like they are designed to be adjusted. So we'll screw them most of the way, and then we can adjust them at the end if there's some gap or something between the spoil board pieces. Let me make sure all this is on the overhead. Okay, and we'll just go down the line here, screwing in all the spoil boards. So we'll start here, get these baffle pieces on. I just did one side, now we're going to do the other side. Same thing over here. I'm not going to screw it all the way down, just enough to get it clamped on there. And then a little additional tightening, and then we'll put the spoil board on, and then at the end, go back and tighten it once we adjust it so that there's no gaps. So now we've got the spoil board. And we've got the base, so all of these little screws here, I don't know if we can see them on there, but basically each of these boards have some holes in them, and then those are going to go into some corresponding holes on this rail here. So just look for the holes, find the first 2. And then you can immediately start screwing these in. What I like to do is just kind of get them started. That way it doesn't wiggle. So find the starting point so it don't wiggle. Get it in there. Get all of them in there. And then at the end, just come through and tighten everything all the way. That way I'm making progress constantly, but I'm also getting all the boards on there. And then I'm not spending too much time on any given board. So I'm making progress constantly. It feels better mentally. That's the idea. Alright, maybe I'll tighten one of them. But I mean, just after tightening one of them, you can pretty much see the exact amount of gap you're going to have on that. Let's call it the dust baffle, I guess we're calling it. So we'll get the, go ahead and just tighten that one in based on that gap there. We'll close that gap and then we'll tighten it. It looks like it's exactly designed to close that gap. That's pretty cool. Okay. There we go. So tighten one piece. One bolt got tightened, and but it's on there pretty sturdy right now. And then at the end we'll tighten all the bolts. So you want to make sure you're flipping it the correct orientation. So in this case, I'm going this way, as it turns out. And each one of these are going to snap into the previous one. So that you'll know you're going the correct orientation when they snap in or not. And then the holes, based on, are pretty much screwed based on the assumption that they're snapped in correctly. So if it's not snapped in correctly, if you got it going the wrong way, you won't see your bore holes, your drill, your screw holes at the bottom. You won't be able to screw into it, and that's the reason for that. If you have that problem, I can't imagine anybody would, but never know. So let's go ahead and I must have already put one in there, of course. Move on to the next one. Just tighten it a little bit. I'm not going to tighten it all the way. I'll come back after and tighten them all. So we're going to just repeat. So the channels on this side, put over, make sure it snaps into the piece. The tongue and groove system is working properly. So screw this one down. Okay. A lot of tolerance or something on there. So I can't see into this hole, but it does seem to be struggling to find the screw, the tapping hole. Seems like I got it there on that one. Okay, so go to the next one. Screw it in just enough that we know what's going in the hole and it's tightening. Do that for all the holes. And then we'll go back after, tighten them all up at once. That should go pretty quick. Okay, so move on to the next one. Rinse and repeat. You just do this for every single one of these. And it takes a little bit, but it looks pretty good after. Okay, that's going in, I think. Is it? It might not be going in. That one certainly feels like it is. Come on, tighten it. Okay, seems good. This one's questionable. I think it is tightening. Okay. Slide that down, snap it in, tiny groove. Move on to the next one. Okay. Next one. How is this looking on the overhead? And then from behind, it's got to be looking a little strange. Probably the behind shot's not going to be used much here because you're just looking at my back. Well, maybe a little bit of it. Maybe a quick time lapse or something. Whenever I got time to edit. Let's do that. All right. So we're making it through, about halfway through. Hear some silly laughing in the background. Okay. All right. Screw screw in, go to the next one, screw in. Next one, screw it in. On to the next one. Okay. Okay. So, man, there's a lot of these. But yeah, so we'll get these through. I don't know if anybody's watching or not. Maybe some people are watching. But all of this is in prelude to getting some software made. It says 2 people, but one of them might be me. Maybe one of them is, maybe the text is somebody telling me that something's not right. I don't know. I do not know. Let me check my phone just in case. Where is that sucker? Oh. So we got one more after this. And then we got somebody texting me, potentially telling me that something's astray. You don't need to record me looking at my phone. And it looks like nothing relevant, so yeah, just turn down. I don't necessarily want to turn all of it off, but I do need to have my phone be more quiet. Never know when an emergency may come through. Alright, so we're on the last one, but all of this is just in prelude to setting up some software, getting some code running, getting us some cool stuff cut out on the CNC. We'll have some tools available for anybody to use, open source, and we'll have it all in one place so you can make all kinds of things, cabinets, fancy like reliefed images, pictures, laser engraving. We'll figure out how to do pretty much everything that'll make life easier for everybody in terms of making products and making just cool things that you might want to keep yourself. I think the first thing we'll start making is some like letters, just keep it simple, which will include like SVG upload, and then having that being able to select outlines and having it automatically create tabs based on like whatever you define for like tab width, depth, things like that. And then yeah, the idea is just to have some useful software. Did I ever put screws in here? I don't think I did. So I'm looking over. I'm not seeing any screws. I'm not feeling any screws. So I definitely did not. I feel like I missed some more somewhere because I have more screws than I should have. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18. 18 times 2, 36. And it's 4 more, so that's 40. Yeah, I got 3 sitting here, which I'm pretty sure is what I should have. I should have 0 here because I should have had all 40 be used already. So somewhere there's a hole missing or something. Let's go ahead and get these down. So those all have screws. Oh, there's 2 missing right there, interestingly. Might have been when I looked at my phone, maybe I forgot about those. Okay, make sure those are in. Did I miss any other ones? I don't see. Maybe there's just 1 extra screw, but I don't recall. But I don't think I actually counted them prior. I think I just read the label and it said there was 36. I didn't count them, but maybe there's 37. All right. Well, I'll keep a lookout, but I'm not sure. These all seem to. Yeah, kind of hard to see all the way over here, but yeah, it looks like they all have something in them. So I'm going to just tighten these all, make sure they're all tight. Shouldn't take long. But yeah, unboxing this was one of the last like major hurdles to get all the machines unboxed. There's still one more, and we'll do that I think tomorrow on a stream. And that's a smaller project, just a laser plotting machine. So that should be a simpler one to put together. But here we go. So we're getting closer every day. The stuff I'm doing in the background, like we're working on the dust and fume extraction room. That video will be coming out soon. And that video just has, I think, one more step I gotta do, and then basically to make a latch for the door so it actually stays closed. And then I'll get that on video. I'll do it offline, probably not on stream, just because I mean the stream hasn't exactly gone to plan. I'd rather keep the streams to be like more entertaining. As time goes on, I get more entertaining stuff I can do, and focus on just like building the software and building the actual, larger projects like the dust fume offline, and record it all, because I am going to make content out of it, but just doing it offline, just for the sake of having time to do fun stuff on streams. So this isn't exactly fun, but I am sweating and having trouble. So I don't know if anybody wants to watch that, but it is an assembly video, so it might save you time, so you don't have to read the book. You can just watch this and go step by step with me. Okay, we'll get this next one screwed on. Tighten down. That one's already tightened. So at this point, we've put all these on. We've tightened most of the screws, and we're just getting the rest of them tightened. And then we'll start putting the X-gantry axis on. Yeah, this whole machine does vaguely feel a bit smaller than the other one, which I think is interesting. I don't know if it has a full 800 millimeter cutting area, or especially if it has a full 400 millimeter on the other axis, but I guess I'll do some testing and find out exactly what it is, because I'm not going to measure it right now. But let's see. I do have to know, because I am going to have to put in those parameters into the machine so it knows how far to travel, as it can travel from 0. Okay, tighten. And yeah, so the software really just aims to, instead of having complicated CNC programming, it aims to simplify via procedural parametric models that can be modified in the browser, previewed in the browser, and then sent to a machine and card, just like you might with a printer and some papers, documents you need printed. It's meant to be easy. Obviously, there's a little bit more prep involved, making sure you have the bits and everything in, but otherwise, like measuring the bit and stuff would be easy. So there we go. So everything's tight now. That was a process. I think we're going to be moving on to the next axis. I do like that this thing basically gave me some free ball screws, though. That's pretty cool, because they are not exactly cheap. So here we have the X limit switch. So we need to take, interestingly, we need to take the X limit switches off of the previous one and put them onto the new X gantry. And then we're going to use 4 of the M3 16 bolts for that, and then 4 of the 12 M4 bolts. M4. I don't see that there. So, oh, I see. Okay, so okay, yeah, right. So so all these are going to come off of the previous one. Basically, is what we're doing, and we're going to go on here. So for now, we'll do that. Let's get. These are going to be. Okay, so. That's the face, that's the front. I'm pretty sure this is the back. So realistically, I should want to turn these around. But I'm just going to turn this around instead. Go there. Let's see. So in order to screw this on, I'm going to want to use M5 times 12. So I have M5 times 12. I'm going to need 12 of those. 12 of those. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Okay, that'll allow me to, is that right? 3, 3, that's 6, so there's 6 on each side, okay. Okay, so that's 12. Is this the right one? It's too small, it's this one again. That's right. So then, and the motor will go on that side. It looks like, anyways. Okay, no. Yeah, so okay, yeah, the motor will be on that side, and the I'm gonna have to take the switches off of the old one from the original, which we never built, but the parts are all here. So, all right, so this will go here, and this one will go here. It's a very tight fit. Jesus, very tight fit indeed. So that'll go there. This will go here. Try and get this screwed on, and then we'll go to the previous steps after. So get all this screwed on. That way you ain't got to worry about it moving around, doing anything crazy on me when I'm putting the motor and stuff on it. Get it on now, get out of the way. Alright. Okay. So there's 6, 3 on either side. One of the cool things about these machines is that even though they're not exactly like 8 feet long, you can technically tile and just manually move something vertically through it, and you can achieve much larger cuts that way. So that'll probably be definitely one of the features I'll incorporate into the CNC software. Would be the ability to tile and cut larger things with your machines. And the idea is just to have all of this in one place, which I think is a huge benefit, because if you have been doing anything with hobby CNC stuff, I mean, a lot of these different applications you might have, they're all kind of spread out across different bits of software. And yeah, obviously it'd be ideal not to have to go across multiple layers of software with different pricing models, and it's just easier to keep it all in one place. That's free, that's open source, that the community can help build. So that's what we're trying to develop here. But it all starts with having machines to do work on and test and to build the software. So that's what we're doing here. So, let's make sure this screw's going in, because it's not currently. Where's the hole at? I see. Let's go down. Okay. So it's not going in. Let me start on this side. This side is not going in either. There. Okay, how's that? Alright, so this one is having trouble. How does it look on the overhead? Can't see nothing. Yeah, so this side's giving me a little bit of beef. It's not wanting to get it into the channel borehole. So I am struggling a little bit. Let's get this, try to get it aligned. Because obviously, ideally, everything here would just go together seamlessly. But when it doesn't do that, it can be a little frustrating. Okay, where's the where does it want to go? It's interesting because I can actually see the holes here, but it's like not wanting to actually go into them. If I could just get one in, the rest can become aligned a lot easier. But yeah, they're not going in at all, so what is going on here? Let's try to lift it up maybe. Okay. It almost seems like it can't go down enough, which is would not be an easy thing to fix. Because these are some thick boy metals. So I can't get it into the right spot. Okay. Alright, that one might be going in now. It's a little bit, seems like a little bit crooked maybe, but it is going in. Tighten it down, hopefully it'll force it to align better. And go from there. So, I mean, there are some things I like better about this assembly so far over the Masuder, which is that the it did come with the additional belt, so I don't really have to like mess with that. But the reality is I have to do that anyways because I am going to be using a router, so it doesn't really make a big difference, unfortunately. So interestingly, I was able to get one in, but these other ones are not wanting to go in. So let me make sure everything's back as far as it can go. That way I know that this thing is properly as far back on both sides as possible. And I can see that's part of the problem, is that this side is not. Okay, alright. Okay, so now maybe that'll help. Yep, it actually did seem to help give us exactly what we needed. So tighten this up. Too bad we can't get any of this on camera, but basically I just I went and found the knobs on the other end, and I just made sure that the gantry axis was all the way to the back on both the left and right motors, on the Y motors. And then after that, it seems like that took away any little bit of tolerance that was preventing, like in terms of the angle offset. It took away that misalignment, took away that extra error in the tolerance, and now the problem went away. I could screw these in just fine. So yeah, if you're having a similar issue and you can't get your thing to screw in, there you go. That might be the answer. So here we are. Screw this down. Last piece on this side. Dang it. Okay. We're almost done. 2 more to go. Oh yeah, yeah, they're going in a lot easier now, so that's definitely a pro. It's a bonus. It's a plus. Okay. Awesome. Okay. Cool. Here we are. So we've got almost all 6 of these screws in. Last one. Number 5. It's giving me a little bit of trouble for some reason. Make sure get it in first, and then we'll try screwing it. Okay, there we go. All right. Okay, screw it on. Okay, well that's interesting. Freaking bolt just broke. What are you doing over there, camera person? But the bolt just broke, so there's a little too much. Oops, a little too much tension on that bolt. Why is it always so hard to find this thing? So no bueno. No good. But honestly, with 3 of them in there, I think there's 5 out of 6 in there. I don't think it'll be a big deal, but it also broke off right at the head, so it's probably got most of the way in there between both of them. I think the misalignment at the beginning, that first screw, it wasn't quite in there straight, and so all of them were a little bit unstraight, and then that just added up. And that last screw just wasn't. It was just too much, because it was kind of crooked looking as I was going in, which usually you would want to stop and fix that, but we got through it anyways. It's all right. Not a big deal. So get that off of there. That's full of grease. Okay. So now what we want to do is basically take the X motor off of this one. And we want to take the X limit switches off of this one. And then we want to move all of that onto the other one. So we just put up. So do that now. A little bit of disassembly. Okay. That's trash. Get this assembled. That's too big. One slightly smaller. Another one even smaller. Okay. So hopefully, yeah, you can see on the overhead, I'm just basically just unscrewing the limit switches here, which are just a couple of M3 screws. They're pretty small. They come out pretty quick, and they just hold these limit switches on. So we'll do that to both sides. I mean, it should just pop right off. And then we're just going to screw it right back on this next one. So start with this one. I'll put it in here. Oop. Put this into this hole. Screw it in. Okay. Oh my god, I dropped it. Fudge. Okay. Maybe come over here and zoom in on it instead of looking at my back. Because I got both things on my back now. I don't know if it's possible. There's not a lot of room either. you're going to be doing YouTubing, make sure you got all the room in the world. Okay, screw this one in. Go grab the next one. Screw that, and then tighten it all the way. I just wanted to get this next one in, and then I'll tighten it once both are in. That way I know it's in the right position. Okay, tighten this one. And we might do a video or something where I can go back and fix that bolt that snapped. But I'm not gonna worry about it right now. It's not, like I said, I don't think it'll be a big deal in the short term, anyways. So I just gotta do this X motor. So I'm gonna loosen them all, and I'll go through and each one I can. Well, so I want to keep at least 2 kind of on there, and then just take off all the others. So we'll do that. Okay, let's turn this on this face. How's that look on the overhead? It doesn't look like much. Okay, there we go. That's a good shot. Kind of. It's a good shot, but it's still hard to get my hand out of the way. There we go. I think we figured it out. There we go. Just take this screw out. There it is. Move on to the next one. All right. So we got these 2 here. That one's acting a little strange. So what we want to do, put this side on, give it an initial turn, and that'll loosen it. And from there we can get it out the rest of the way. So there we are. Okay. The next one, and we want to be really careful not to let this motor fall at all. We do not want this motor to fall. So I might block the camera this way just so I can have a little better grip on the motor. So I take this last screw out. There we go. So now, all we're going to do, interestingly, we should have taken off that coupler collar as well, but I'm going to just take the one off over here since that's already attached. And then, oh man, pick this up. Okay. And then over here, I'll just take off this one that's already attached. So let me turn this a little bit. And actually it comes right off. It's not even tightened down, interestingly. So there we go. Put this one on. So now I want to make sure that the cable management stuff will be facing up, which also means I'm going to need to rotate this a little bit. And then slide it in, make sure that's nice, and there we go. Cool beans. That was easy enough. Get one of these screws in, and I'll give it a chance to, the motor a chance to fall. There we go. Okay, get one screw in there, hold it up. Move on to the next one. Be very cautious though, you really don't want this motor to get hit in any way. Be very, very careful. The motor gets hit, you're gonna have to buy a new motor basically. So don't hit it, don't even give it a chance to get hit. Just baby it. Okay, next one in. So it's coupled, it's screwed, we'll tighten it as a last step. And based on how tight it was whenever I unscrewed it, I'm just going to basically try and get to that same tightness. But the idea is like enough that you can do like a quarter turn with some force. But you don't want to, obviously, again, we don't want to break the bolts again. So just be careful not to break the bolt and not to leave it too loose that it just rattles itself out. I'm sure Loctite would not hurt, but honestly, I don't think my machine that I've been using, this never been that bad that it rattles so much the screws are coming out. So I don't think that's really an issue realistically. Okay, and then I'll just go ahead and tighten these all. Right now, quarter turn, just enough that I can feel it is resisting to turn anymore. So, okay, so I'm gonna do a little more. Okay, last one. There it goes. Okay, make sure that was pressing against the thing. Okay, cool. So that's the X gantry. Okay, so what's next here? So this is no longer needed at all, but we do get a free ball screw out of it, so that's cool. Okay. All right. Okay. Those steps are complete. So now we just need to get the Z-axis module on there with the M5 X12. So M5 X12, we're going to need 4 of those. And I don't see them here. So where are they? I don't know. So there's the M5. Oh wait, we have them. Okay, so we're good. So we need 4 of these basically. 1, 2. Wow, what happened there? How did that even happen? Interestingly, I don't think it showed up on camera, so I was not in the correct app. That's all right. So here we go. We just need 4 of these, and then we're gonna screw in the head piece here to the mount on the X gantry. So that's gonna happen now. Unwrap this thing that's been apparently mummified. That over there. And then we'll screw it in. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Be extra careful, as always, with the motor. You do not want the motor to have any damage. Then find the correct Allen wrench. It's got to be the beefier one. And then let's see, we'll get it on the overhead. It's gonna be hard to get on the other camera. Yeah, this today has just been watching my back on the wide view, so it's not ideal, but whatever. It is something, which is better than nothing. Okay, so we're gonna screw this in. I think we're gonna screw this in. There it goes in. I might not. That isn't the right spot actually. I'm looking at it. This is the right spot here. Okay, screw this in. Hopefully it's the right spot. Still seems to be struggling. Come on. Okay, what's going on now? Okay, I can't actually reach that one, so what I want to do is the 2 bottom ones. Whoa. Sort of just using my chin to keep the head straight while I screw this down. And what's going to happen is I'm going to have to use, presumably there's a knob on here. I haven't really checked yet, but I would think there'd be a knob somewhere because there's knobs everywhere else. There doesn't seem to be a knob. So somehow I have to be able to get this head down so I can get this head down so that I can get to the bolts back there. It doesn't just simply slide because, of course, it's a ball screw. So we have to use the, in this case, we're going to have to use the ball screw itself because there's no knob on this side, apparently. Interestingly enough, the Z head does not have its own. Fine with me, not a big deal, but we do have to manually twist it in order to get it to go down so that we can see the hole that we need to use to screw in. There we go. It's super greasy, which makes it a little bit harder than it should be. But yeah, we're screwing the head in now. We're not getting any of this on camera, unfortunately. Should I try and bring this over? Is it even worth it? It's going to take a while. It's moving like 4 millimeters every turn. That's moving extremely slowly, so yeah, I don't want to sit here for an hour recording me just smoothing that down. Let me just keep moving this down so I can at least get this screwed in. We want to the next step. I kind of wonder what the instructions say, because it's like obviously this thing came with that thing in the way. Does it not tell you to like turn a knob or something? So it really doesn't. It just assumes you'll know to do that. But there we go. We got to turn this knob until the holes are exposed. We're almost there. I am seeing how they did the Z-axis head, and that's pretty cool. The limit switch there. It's interesting. Because that is not like that on the Masuder. Am I going the wrong way? What's happening here? So it's so slimy with all that grease on there. It's making it very hard to turn. The slime from the grease plus the slime from my sweat is making this impossible. Come on, keep on going. I mean, it's so close. Like I see the dang hole, but I just can't get to it right now. With this thing in the way, so we just gotta keep trying to turn it until that hole becomes exposed. And it probably wouldn't hurt to have like a towel, paper towel even, just some kind of towel to help give you grip with all this grease on here. And I don't know, maybe I'll find out there is a knob somewhere, but I don't see it or feel it anywhere. So as far as I can tell, this is the only way to go, but it looks like it's down far enough now. We should be able to put these screws in. Okay, yeah, looks good. So there we go, that one's in. Okay, do the next one. Okay. Cool. There we go. So both of those are in now. The head's on. That is no longer a problem. We can move on to the next step. Okay, and what is the next step? Let's see. All right, so now we're gonna be putting on the drag chain holder, and we're going to be putting on the drag chain holder. Cool. Which means we are definitely making some good progress, because that is, then the next step is drag chain, and then you're basically done. So, how long has it been? It's been about an hour. A little bit more longer, it seems. Okay, so we want to do the drag chain. We need the pieces for the drag chain. These are clamps. These are bits. Here, I believe is what we're looking for. Drag chain holder. So let's do it. Okay, my hands are so greasy now I can't even open up that baggie. There we go, we got it. Okay, so we're gonna need this, which is a longer one. But before we can put that on, we have to put on. So that's one. So one will go here, And basically this piece here will be, it's either going to go this way or it's going to go, I think it has to go potentially that way. What does this say here? Yeah, it looks like this would be the way. So we're going to need the M5 6mm. We're going to need 4 of those. 1, 2, 3, 4. And so one of them will go over here. Damn it. Dang it, darn it. One of them will go over here. Boop, 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 boop. And screw into this. Okay. Okay, there we go. And the other one, go into the other side, screw into the same spot on the other side. Right here. Okay. Okay. I mean, we're getting there. We're almost assembled now. So we're getting this back piece on. So now there's going to be this fella, which is going to go with 2 more of these screws onto the back of the Z head. So these are going to go, seems like here. And the idea is that these will screw, this will screw into the belt chain, or the cable chain, and keep it nice and secure in this exact position. And then the rest of it will ride along here, we'll loop around, tie onto there. Okay, fixed mount 2. And then there's also the fixed mount 2, which is going to use, interestingly, it says 4 bolts. 2 of them go into that, 2 go into this, and then it shows 2 more going into here. So it's really 6 bolts. I don't know how they got the 4 there, but that looks like an error on their part. Interestingly, I don't know if anyone else has noticed that, or maybe I'm just missing something, but I don't know how else that's supposed to make sense. So let's come over here, and I'll get this one put in. So it should be, I believe, yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, this way. Okay. So this will go in over here. How's that right? That can't be right. Is that really right? Okay. Next one's seems a little oddly long to be going here, but it does seem to be exactly the right length on the other side, so I guess it's fine. Alright, so I'll keep that there nice and secure, that'll stay there nice and secure. So then there's another piece that I believe goes here. It'll wrap around, tie here. Some of the wires will go underneath, and then other wires will go this way. The wires underneath are just going over here, but at least we don't have to like mess with any of that too much. So now we're gonna need the M4 times 6. We're gonna need 8 of these little tiny flat ones, which looks like we got just enough. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So that's 8 pieces, and then I don't remember now if this was the longer belt or that was the longer belt, but hopefully I can remember. I can just compare the two side by side here and it'll be obvious. Okay, so the longer belt's obviously the one we want to use, but what we're doing here, it should only be longer, yep, on one of these It looks like this one. So, okay. So, all that goes on top. Shoot. All that's going to go on top. This is going to go right here. This piece will wrap around that way. We'll start with this top one. So we're going to need the, is this the right Allen wrench? It is and it is. So this will go right here. It'll screw down. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to I have to do this, unfortunately. I have to go through and open up all of these, and hopefully this is the right side, because it might not be. Looks like quality control passed on this particular cable bit chain. For whatever that means. This is not finding the hole. Oh, we found the hole. Okay. So what I really need right now is a tiny screwdriver, which I do not have, so I'm going to have to go get, and then I can continue. Because what I need to do is I need to open up all these little ribs here, and I need to put one of my other cables specifically for the Genmitsu router, which is still in the box. I gotta open up the box as well. You ain't gotta move the camera around, don't worry about it. Let me just walk back over there. And then, all right. So this is the box. It has all the cables we want. We've already unboxed it, so I won't do it again. It's just a router. It's a router. It has a long cable. It's just gonna make things a little better for us, a little stronger for us as we're cutting through different materials. The router will be better than the spindle. It's just got more wattage, more torque, but it also has these really long cables, which we need to make this work. Okay, cool. All right, so I do need to. Maybe I can use this screw. Let me try the screw real quick. Am I even on the right side? Is it this side? Oh, it is this side. The screw does work, but not so well as it turns out. So I'm gonna go get a tiny screwdriver. I'll be back. You ain't gotta face the camera at me. I'll be right back. I'm gonna run, so I'll be right back. Oh, I am on camera. I'm not on camera, but I'm on audio. So, I should have muted first. I'm outside. I'm outside. Going to what is my separate little workshop. So I can grab some small screws out of here, screwdriver, which will give me enough strength to be able to put this chain up where it goes. All right, and we're heading back. Yeah, buddy. Okay. Okay, forgot I was on microphone. No way. But that's all right. We made it. So this should be a lot easier. You can get underneath and snap it up a lot better than that screw could. And this one probably even better because it has an even smaller head on it. I was looking for my flathead, but I didn't see it immediately, so I just grabbed this. Save time. And it works, I guess, but not as good as the flathead would. It's just like a little tiny Phillips. So we already saw this on. We haven't seen it on stream yet because I didn't do it on stream, but you saw it'll be in the unboxing for the Masuda 3S, and that way you can see kind of exactly how to open these up. But it basically is just find the side that pivots, and then on the other side, stick your tool into the little crack and like unlatch it, kind of. That's all you're trying to do. So you just got to do that a bunch, unfortunately. But some of them are harder than others, but if you have a flat head, it's way easier. So flat head just goes right underneath and yanks it up, which is not so easy right now with this. Okay, let's just rotate quick. Maybe this will work. Give it a little bit better visibility. Know what I'm doing. But here we go. Trying to go under and then push it up. Okay. Maybe you have fingernails, you might be able to do it too, but I'm not sure. It's pretty strong. So fingernails, no fingernails, it may still be difficult. Now we're just gonna take our extra long router cable, and we're going to wire that into the cable chain. So stick it right out the top. So the head, I might have to take it off to be able to. That's not what I wanted to do, but take the head off. You don't need it sticking out too much because there is plenty of space. Where does that go? That thing actually vanished. My camera person did not see where it went, so shoot. I have no idea where that went. So, alright, whatever. We'll come back to it. So you don't need a lot of space, is all I'm trying to say for that. So don't worry about it. This, on the other hand, interesting that they decided to do that. So this I feel like should be over here. I don't know, that's QA issue or what have you, but that is not in the right spot. So this will pull out a little more, and then close that, close that, close that. Just close all these, make sure the wire's in between for the router. Keep closing it all. Okay, boop-a-doo. And then we'll just have to do this one more time to the smaller side, and then that'll be it. So close this up. Cool. And then, yeah, then I'll do it one more time on the other side. Those little tiny screws, where did they go? Where did I put those? Pretty sure I took them out. Here they are. Okay, so this next one will go here. Cool, easy peasy. So now I just gotta find that piece that came off, because obviously that's gonna be super relevant right now. That piece came off. It kind of flew in this direction. I don't want to move that because that'll break. I'll use my phone, get some light. Hopefully that'll help me to see where this thing went. It went somewhere. So we're gonna see it here. There it is. All right. Oh. All right. We got it. Cool. Alright, so now this side will go this way up because it's going to have the screw in this way, so make sure we got that on the right side. The X limit here doesn't have a lot of space, so I hope that's going to be okay. It does seem like it'll be alright though. Pretty simple though, we just do that and then we can tighten it down. That's my phone making some noises. some kind of YouTube video or something, looks like. Close that. Okay. Alright. It's the wrong one. This one here. Come on. Okay. Okay, cool. That's tightened. Get this next one tightened. We're almost there, though. I mean, at this point, if you're following along and you've made this far, you're almost done. You're in the home stretch. So these cables will kind of connect, plug and play to everything, and then you'll be done. So a couple more screws. Make sure you don't cross thread these screws. Now they're actually going in because it does seem like there is some tendency for that. If you don't get a good angle on it going in, and that's I think what I just did here. So be careful of that. Okay, that one's tightening. Okay, all right. Yes, the x-axis actually looks fine. It looks like it's close enough that it's not gonna be a problem. Slide that in here. Cool beans. All right, let's get this bottom one going. There is one more, I believe, connection piece that should be needed. It'll probably tell us here in the manual. Because I never connected that, and I don't see where it told me to do it, but that's right. It's interesting, because it actually doesn't seem to tell me to do that. But it's basically showing it here, which I don't know. I don't remember where it said to do that, so we're just going to do it without it telling us to do it, because it needs to be done. So somewhere there is another piece of metal that I took out with the other two, and now I don't see it. Somewhere it is. And then that's the piece we care about, so I gotta find it. I'm super pleased that it came with a whole nother cable, because that means I get to have free cables, free connection, I forget what they're called, but those things are free, so that's cool. So then on the previous one that I purchased, what is this? So that's the Z motor, that's the Z limit, that's the Z motor as well, that's the X limit. Okay. Alright, so that's the X limit, and then the Z limit is this one, which isn't very long, but it looks like long enough there, so that's fine. Okay, so the Z limit goes, you know, like so. Okay. Something's not quite right here, though. This plus, minus, minus. This is Y limit. That's a Y limit. So this goes here. Okay. This is the X motor and the X motor. That looks correct. And then this needs to go all the way around there. But what's weird, oh, there it is, okay. Okay, so this piece, still very weird. So on the Masuder, there's some cable holders, and then this runs along here basically on the bottom and connects to that other motor. So it's strange to me that this would be on the bottom, but maybe it's okay, maybe it's not that big a deal. Maybe it's not as strange as it seems. So it seems like that goes that way, and then that would be on the bottom here, which ordinarily would go down to the power and all that stuff, and then this will come up there. So that's fine. Okay, that could work. All right. So I assume, I don't remember seeing them, but I assume there should have been some like cable management stuff for holding those wires. Here's the user manual. Here's that. Here's drivers and software. That's from the last project. So yeah, it really looks like in this project they don't have those same things. So I'm not sure what that's about. So I guess these are just meant to interesting. I guess they're just meant to kind of go over here and yeah, weird. All right. So make sure I get these going the right way. That one goes there. This one looks like it snaps on, so I have to snap on this way. Okay. All right. So there is meant to be the other long piece of metal, which I don't know where I put, and that's kind of blocking me a little bit here. It's definitely not in there. Definitely not in there. It was definitely in that one that I opened already. And then where did I put that? Nobody knows. Anybody's guess. Maybe this is it. Actually, that is it. Cool. So that fell on the ground, it looks like. And that one's going to go... Yeah, interestingly, it goes on the back. Yeah, it's just the way they designed this one is a little bit different. So that goes here on the back. Yeah, interesting. All right, cool. We're almost done, actually. So we're pretty close now, especially. Screw this in. So I believe this is going to use these as well, which is what the other ones used. So get this out. Cool. That'll snap on in there. Yep, just like this. Just like that. Perfect. I'll do the same thing here. Go on in there, through the hole. All right. We're almost done. We're almost done with this stream. And then I'll move it into the correct place off stream. But I'll record it and make sure it's all in a video somewhere. Maybe. Or maybe it just gets emitted and I just record it for nothing. Better to have it than not have it. So this is the X motor and the X motor power. So screw those in. So we'll go back, find these cool beveled pieces here. There's just enough to basically screw into the cable chain. Oops. Okay, so these Allen wrenches are not magnetic, which kind of makes this a little bit more tedious than necessary, but not a big deal. Okay, that's on. So screw that down. So before I go too far with this, I do want to make sure that I open up all of those ribs and I slide in the cable for the router, which is currently just sitting here off to the side. And given that this is upside down, it will be ready to get that in now. So it looks like this side is the right side. Go ahead and snap all these down. You're not gonna be able to see any of this on camera, but it's the same thing I did before, just now a little bit different. I mean, maybe I can put it on camera though. Let's see, because I gotta take this off anyways. Okay, I took the wrong one off. That's all right. Fortunately, all of this stuff kind of snaps together, so if you do like cause that to happen, I can't see it on the overhead. I'm not sure. You can see it in the other. So like, if this happens, they just snap back together. It's not a big deal. Don't worry about it. And then, yeah. So we just want to. Okay, we already move those. That's in the way, but that's all right. Just want to open all these up, and then we can push in the other wire. Okay. So that's the bottom. So what I'll do is I'm just going to go a little bit at a time to avoid getting a headache. And we'll start. So this is going to go under. It'll go up in here. There we go. So a little bit at a time, we'll start getting it through. That way I'm not making it too complicated for myself. So a little bit at a time. Boop, 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 boop. Here we go. Okay, break some more open. But yeah, flathead is a much better tool for this if you have one. Because this can be kind of tedious to do with the wrong tool. Or even your fingernails, just because it is like, it's pretty strong. These are not the most loose clips ever. So they're pretty tight. Okay. Next. We just gotta go down the line, putting this cable in there, and then moving on to the next one. Closing it, moving on to the next one. We got a few to go. Let's try and knock them all out. One at the end there. And then we'll take this off the end. There's two more at the end actually, but we'll take this off. And take these in, two on the end. Oop. One and two. And then slide this through. Close those. Put this back on. I want to say it was that way, but it should make sense if it was that way. Okay. So this goes back on. And that should be that. Okay, cool. So it seems like we got everything. This goes in there. These are gonna go that way. Go that way. So you can't see what I'm doing on camera, but basically I'm just trying to snap this back into the piece I already kind of screwed into the thing. That's now in. We're almost done. So we just got one more of these on this piece. And I can snap the motor in. So we're not going to see this thing running in this stream, but you will see it get put together. And you'll see it running in a separate stream or a separate video. So I want to say the goal right now is to have all the software and everything ready by maybe the end of next week. And then we'll be able to basically do some streams, some coding streams, where we'll get the software running correctly, and we'll start playing around and getting some things made. The first sort of product I want to make, the first sort of item in the catalog, would be letters, and I think we talked about it a little earlier, but that boils down to just having just enough. What is that? Okay, so that boils down to having just enough, like a minimum viable product. So the idea is to build basically something that allows me to upload a SVG, select an outline, select a line segment, and decide, like, does this need to be cut? Sort of like you have in any typical software. Which line segments are going to be cut, which ones are going to cut at which depth. I think this goes to the spindle, but since we don't have the spindle, it's not going to be useful here. But yeah, we can see that goes to the spindle. So we don't need that here. It does make me wonder how much power that spindle has, because I didn't realize they have their own thing like that. So it makes me wonder if they have more power or if it's just a different way they went about it. But there we go. So let's so we've already seen one of these going, but I don't think we need to do that again. I'll just set that up off camera. But this is the whole thing assembled. So yeah, so okay, so minus this one last piece actually. Let me screw this in. Then it will be officially assembled. Get this out of the way, because this should go underneath. Out of the way. And then that'll connect to the control box, all those wires there. And if you want to see that, we'll get that. We could probably put that on the stream actually. Because I don't think I did it in the last stream, so it would be good to have that on camera for one of these machines. So for now, let me go ahead and put this in. There we go. Screw one in. Okay. Next one. Okay. Okay. Cool beans. Any chats so far? Just somebody saying cheap viewers on streamboo.com. Don't trust it. There's literally no reason to buy viewers. It's not going to do anything for you. Most of them are going to be bots. If you want viewers, buy actual ads. Don't pay for viewers. Alright, cool. So what was I going to do? I was going to connect all the wires into this thing so that we can kind of see what that looks like. We'll do it on the overhead, because presumably everything should fit over here. So there are a lot of wires. It can be daunting. I can see how that could be daunting. So hopefully we can see this, but they're all labeled, so it really shouldn't be that bad. Here we go, like Y limit here. We'll just put that right into the one that's labeled Y limit. You know, pretty straightforward. No questions. It's really, they're all labeled, so it should just be a matter of like plugging and playing. So the Z motor, you'll notice that they also have like corresponding number of pins. So in the Z motor case, you can see it has 4 pins. It's also small. There's another one that's labeled Z motor, but it's like bigger and only has, looks like 2 pins. Direct current, I'm guessing. Maybe it's AC, but yeah, presumably it should be, more than likely it's going to be direct current. So let's go ahead and put all these on. Do Y2, so that'll be this one here. That's the big one. Y2. It has like a little notch, so you have to slide it into the notch. If you don't do it the right way, it won't go on. So you don't have to worry about accidentally like getting the wrong, like the polarities mixed up, or there are pins in the wrong places, because there's no way to do it. It has to go on the right way. Avoid crossthreading it, like I just apparently did. I didn't know you could do that here, but you can, so just make sure you don't. And then the way to avoid that is just make sure it's nice and flat before you start screwing. Okay, and then so this is the X limit. So I'll go ahead and I'll put that one on. It's all the way at the top here. Or no. X limit, oops, down at the bottom here. So that's all that it boils down to. It just boils down to reading. Where does it go, and then screwing it into the right slot. I don't know that I necessarily want to do all of these right now, because I do have to get some other stuff before I'm ready to put all these together. But hopefully you can see that on the overhead. You can see how they're all labeled. Here's X. You got the motor. You got the power to the motor. You got the controls for the motor, and then you have USB at the bottom. But each and every one of these are labeled, so you just connect them to the corresponding spot. Straightforward. I'm not going to do all of them. Maybe off camera I'll do them all, but I do need to also finish that particular Z probe, getting that welded and wired the right way. And that's it. That's the stream, guys. Hopefully you liked it. We'll do more stuff this week. Not sure what yet. Show the caulk on the wall here. The extraction. So you see, I did a really messy job on this earlier. I'm gonna clean up some of this caulking, but yeah, basically the last step. So I had a bunch of steps here at one point. Oh, I took this off of my face. Put it back. Okay. So I had some stuff I had to do. I still got to do this thing, but the fin caulk, pretty much done now. So I can wipe that off. The latch door is the last thing I got to do to go on to the full video. Make this full video. I'll clean up some of this stuff. It won't be hard to clean up because it's like silicone. I'll probably just go around with a razor, cut some millimeters off, and then just peel it up. So I'm gonna clean it up, make it look prettier, get rid of some of these bad spots. But overall, yeah, it definitely sealed it up, and not only that, but it actually made it like more rigid. Like this thing was just coming right out. It's no longer doing that because the silicone, the caulk is holding it. So I don't know if you can see in here. Can you see this far? Just let me know. Bring the camera. So perfect. So the machine we just assembled will go on this shelf here. We'll get some stuff out of the way. You want to point the camera upward. So I didn't get this on a live stream just because it was kind of tedious and I was doing some electrical work and I don't want to deal with people commenting on my electrical work. But I do have video of it and I will be showing it anyway, so you can comment then, just not live. Nobody's watching anyways. I guess I could have done it. But yeah, we got an exhaust now. This works. We got this fan set up. And so you can hear it turn on and get an idea of how beefy it is. We'll turn it up all the way, you know. So you can kind of hear it kicking up. And then turn it up all the way to number 10. This is AC Infinity. And it just sucks up stuff. So I've already demonstrated it to myself with some paper and some lighting it on fire. I can see it getting sucked up. But what we'll do is I'll do something special to show it in the full vid that everything's working, and hopefully you'll like that. And then that'll be that. So we're pretty close. We got 2 machines set up. We got 1 more to set up here. We got 1 more to set up here, this area. And then we're gonna do some laser engraving stuff down maybe at the bottom, maybe at the top, I'm not sure yet. But all of this, the idea is it'll all be controlled from one machine and I'll be able to quickly make things. So there's been some stuff over here that's been sitting here for a while, and there's been some tests from the past. So you can kind of get an idea of what I'm trying to do with some of this maybe. But if you can guess it, write a comment, leave me a comment, guess what you think I'm going to try to do here. And we'll see if you're right. But that's it. That's the stream. So thanks for watching if you decide to watch. But there you go. That's it. I'm closing up. Goodbye. Goodbye. Stream. Goodbye. You're watching audio stream. Okay. All right. I think I intimidated the camera person a little bit. Cool. As soon as I put this away, you won't be able to hear me no more. So I'm gonna put this away. Ooh, then I'm gonna disappear. Ooh.